Hello, I'm Jacob Snyder. Now, for those of you wondering, this is a video about Overwatch. Yeah, that should be obvious. If not, it's about Overwatch, specifically Origins Edition, which I believe is the only regular edition being sold right now. Could be wrong, don't quote me, and correct me if I'm wrong, please. So here's the thing. I kind of wanted to give a small tips and tricks vid. It's not going to be very long, it's not going to contain very much, but I'm going to do a few of these. What I see, what I think, so on and so forth. Now right now I think a lot of characters are pretty overpowered. Especially since some of them can be used against multiple people whom they're supposedly weak against. Now of course you always have to take into consideration player skill level and that sort of thing. And of course, I should admit, forthwith, disclaimer, I'm not the best at this game. I'm good. I've had some very good matches, some plays of the game, sometimes even with characters I just then used, but frankly, I'm not a pro gamer. Never will be, probably. I don't want to be a pro gamer, and you know what? I'm okay with that. But, for those of you who want tips from a guy who just has what he thinks to be good advice, and is not trying to boast that he's the best or anything, or a true pro, then sure, stick around. I'd really appreciate the views, the retention time, and frankly, just your support. If not, I'll try and put some links in the description, maybe help you out. I'll see what I can do and link you to some people who know more than I do. Anyways, on to what I want to talk about. Overwatch. It is easily one of my favorite games. So's The Witcher. But that's a subject for another time. This is... how do I put it? I love Overwatch. I really love Overwatch. It's one of my favorite games. Ever. And that's saying something. But anyways. Zarya, Reaper, and Pharah make a great combo when it comes to their ultimates. Or even just in general. You see, Zarya has a huge amount of damage output when she takes a lot of, or when her barriers placed on others or herself take a lot of damage. It charges up her gun, and then she can just wreck crap. I've really gotten a lot of support from playing Zarya. She's a really liked character, if played well, but she is hard to pick up and master because it's not, like, she's one of the more difficult tanks, I should say. As tanks go, she's not the bulkiest. In fact, she has the least amount of health out of any tank there. And no armor, just barriers, and that takes up half her health, so it doesn't go as fast as her health does, but still. And her barrier that gives her essentially immunity for a medium amount of damage is pretty useful. But not what I want to get onto today. If she uses her ultimate, which is Gravity Surge, or Gravitational Surge, which draws in all opponents near it, and unless they have a really big mobility buff, they can't really escape. Like Genji, D.Va, those are two examples of people who get out of it, but McCree cannot because he's in the air. Pharah could get away from it, and I suppose if there's not an ally in the gravity well, Mercy could get away from it, but, you know, some people are just stuck. Now, before I go over ways to counter this specific combo, or combos like it, I want to go over what this one's meant to do. Zarya will trap them, and then begin hammering them with everything she's got. I recommend using, what's them called? The grenade lobbing. She can lob energy grenades, pulse grenades, and these will just damage an area of effect. They'll do more damage, you'll get more kills, and there's no kill stealing in this game. Maybe, you know, kill shot stealing, but everyone gets the credit if they participated well enough. Reaper can go in with his ultimate. He will not be affected by gravity well. You cannot be affected by your team members' ultimates unless they're supposed to affect you. At least right now. But Reaper can go in there, use Death Blossom, and yeah, they can attack him, but if he comes up from where they don't expect, like you're really supposed to with Reaper's ultimate, it makes them pretty easy targets, or maybe McCree could flashbang them, but besides the point. Come in with Death Blossom, and then Rain Hell with Pharah's ultimate. Death from Above, or... Actually, I don't know what it's called. I think it's just called Death from Above, or something. Rocket Launcher? I don't know. She spews rockets out of her suit and just blows everything up. It's awesome. And basically, this will just obliterate anyone in the well, in the gravitational well. But be careful, because if you miss, yeah, it can go badly. So, ways to counter this that I've found are things like Mercy's revival. If she's the only one not caught in the gravity well, or can get out of it, then, sorry, I was wiping something off the screen. Then she can revive everyone. But it's, how do I put this? It's kind of not the best strategy, because they'll probably try and kill you before you can do that, if they're any good, especially in competitive. Now that's out. Keep in mind, these are best practiced in quick match or against bots before actually attempting them. And if they don't work out, or for some reason you just find they're so easily cancelled that my advice isn't even worth it, please tell me. And you know what? I'll put an annotation in the video, why, when, where, or maybe just make another video. Anyways, back to topic. A way to counter this that I really like is actually the ultimate of Lucio, who is a healer. He's a support character, whereas Reaper is an offensive character, and heavy flanker. He's a tank killer. Zarya is just an offensive tank, and Pharah is a fairly mobile aerial offensive character. But, oh my gosh, can Lucio just absolutely ruin this combo? Now, granted, a lot of you are probably going to die, especially if they start using their ultimates the instant you are caught in the gravitational well. You're probably all dead anyways, because the barrier that Lucio can use is essentially, it's just a health buff, but it depletes rapidly, and it being shot at does not help it. Obviously, it depletes even faster. So what you want to do is essentially make sure that you use it if you can and it'll work, or just don't, because it's best saved for a push or a standoff. But ultimately what I would recommend is just using Lucio for this, or if you really want to get devilish, what you could do is use another ultimate. God, I forgot it. I'm sorry. But I find Lucio to be the best. Ultimately, I think that his sound barrier just, it ruins any one of those ultimates by themselves. Together, he might be hard-pressed, but if he has enough tanks or whatnot, or better yet, you use Lucio's sound barrier to just temporarily save the day, and then, you know, Winston drops his shield barrier that surrounds everyone. That would be great. That's going to buy you even more time to get out of there and regroup. But ultimately, this is you're going to be hard-pressed to cancel this out. If you can think of any more, though, counters or combos that I could make a video about, or that you want to see if they work, I'd be happy to try and test them out. I'd be happy to just see what I can do with them. Alright, I'll check you guys later. This is Devil O Spider Wolfman, signing off.